Welcome, everyone. Sorry we're a few minutes behind schedule, but I was having some technological difficulties, and those are no fun. But luckily, the angels rescued me. And that brings us to our topic for today, which is why you would want to work with the angels. What is it that they can offer you? And why is it that I am always talking about how much better your life would be if you knew how to communicate with the angels? Well, last time we understood that the angels could help us with gratitude, with learning when it was appropriate and when it's not important or not necessary or not even a correct time to be using gratitude. Because remember, we don't ever want to be lying when we are doing our energetic work. We want to, and oh my goodness, now we're hearing we have no sound. Okay, I'm going to check. Maybe I can make my sound louder, and that might help. Hang on here, guys. Sirius, if your sound comes back, let me know. Okay. Yay. Thank you, Audrey. She can hear us. Okay. Starting again. It has been a day of technological boondoggles. So here we go. All righty. Again, angels to the rescue. Thank you, both of you who helped me through my technological disasters. Now, before we get started, there are two questions that come up so often that I want to make sure that I address because I don't want any of you getting the idea that you're doing something wrong or that you're connecting with a force that is anything other than loving when you connect with the angels. So let's make sure we're all on the same page. I just don't want to teach about the angels or talk about the angels and then find out that I have not really been giving you all of the information that you require. So, and Sirius, yay, I'm glad your sound is good. Make sure you understand too. You are welcome to ask any questions you may have. Let's stay on topic because everyone else wants to know how to overcome negativity. So, we're not going to talk about what your personal issue may be. That's something that you would need to contact me personally. So, just going to talk today about the two angelic beings that will help you overcome negativity. But as I said, before we get there, I want you to understand two very important things, which is, do you insult God when you call on the angels for help? And what can you expect from the angels? What is it that you can ask them for? So, the first thing is, are you insulting God when you call on the angels? And that is a big no. Absolutely not. You're not going around God when you ask the angels to help you. You are not saying that God is not effective when you are asking the angels to support you. And this doesn't matter whether you refer to the universe, the creator, the divine, or God. It's all the same being. We are all united by love, and we all come from one source. So, whatever name you assign to that particular being or beings, if you see them as not one male or female, but see them as I see them, which is both, then no, everything is part of the divine, the universe, the creator, everything good and loving. Now, what about all of these other things that we encounter in life? Those are the things that, like sickness or poverty or what appears to be a terrible setback or a terrible challenge in life. Well, first of all, we need to understand that only good can come from God because the divine are only loving. So if you are encountering something in your life that doesn't feel good, you need to examine what you are viewing or how you are viewing the situation. And first of all, try to find the good that is within the situation and understand that if it's not good, it's not coming from God. So I remember as a child, I used to make me quite uncomfortable with the idea of God. Now, I grew up with a God, an angry God that was male and was basically just waiting for you to make a mistake so you could be punished. So I was quite uncomfortable with the fact that there were so many children living in poverty and not having enough food to eat. And it made me very unhappy and very untrusting of God because I just couldn't understand how a God that supposedly could do anything and everything, including the miracles that we read of in the Bible, would allow these children to starve. And so it caused for me a huge separation between being able to accept that there was a loving being and seeing in the world these horrible things that were happening. What I understand now is that challenges come to help us grow, but they are not a product of God's punishment for us. It is not because we made a mistake or stepped into sin or have been judged and found to be unworthy. It is merely an opportunity for us to experience what isn't wanted, so we will get more focused on what is wanted, get more in alignment with the source of all good, and call that good forth into our lives. Is it difficult and challenging? Absolutely. Sometimes it feels insurmountable. Sometimes this life is not one in which you are able to overcome. You just get completely burdened down by the challenges, but that's okay. Even though it doesn't feel good, it doesn't mean that you have done anything wrong or that you are not returning to the loving arms of God when you transition back to your non physical state. It simply means that the challenge that you are interacting with is very difficult and you haven't yet gained the support or the knowledge that you may need in order to move past that. So when you call upon the angels, you are calling upon beings of light that are and have been created by God as helpers. They are 100% pure beings of light, and they were created for the specific purpose of helping us through these challenging journeys that we all agree to undertake as a means of growth, not as a means of punishment, but as an attempt to grow. So the angels are sort of like your intermediary. When you think about the divine or the universe or the creator, you have to see the totality. And that may appear too large for you to wrap your mind around. And so, if you are in need of healing, you can call on Archangel Raphael, who is a single energetic being, yet has the ability to be everywhere at the same time and is only helping you with healing in any part of your body or bodies. By bodies, I mean not just the physical, but the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. But it's much easier if you know, well, Archangel Raphael is here and he's on the green ray, and I can relax because I'm calling on him for healing, for answers, to guide me into the place where I'll get the help and the support and the information that I need in order to improve my health. You are still calling on an aspect of God. You are just narrowing down your channel of information. So that's when and why we may choose to call on the angels for support, as opposed to going to the broader idea of the divine. Now, because we are talking about how gratitude can help you increase your luck, I want to just go over one important thing from last week about gratitude, because it is easy to get lost in all of these different teachings and to find yourself wrapped up in something that's almost what you need, but not quite. And so you may feel like, oh, maybe I'm doing it wrong, or this thing doesn't work. And it can make you really feel like a failure. And that's the last thing I want you to feel like. It is impossible for you to get it wrong when you are working with the divine energies. You may find ways that don't work well for you. You may find areas in which it would be good for you to improve. But if you are attempting to work with the divine, you will not get it wrong. You will gain something of value. So it's impossible for you to fail. However, with gratitude, we got to be careful that we are not looking at the mess and saying, oh, I'm so grateful for this mess. When I had this whole technological mess and had to keep restarting the computer to get the camera to work, I wasn't grateful that I had to keep restarting the computer and I was going to have to start the stream late, or that I couldn't figure out the technical issue. I was grateful that I had angelic support to call on. And the angel that I called on to help me was Archangel Michael. And he finally was the one that said to me, stop trying to get it right. Just go onto the YouTube platform and it will work out. And that's exactly what happened. So all of my preparation didn't help. Listening to Archangel Michael guide me to where I needed to be for it to work perfectly is what happened. So I could be enormously grateful and always am for the angelic presence that surrounds me and every one of us, helping us through our every day. However, I was not grateful for all of the confusion. So I just want to make sure that you're understanding that we are not lying. We are not saying, oh, I'm so grateful I can't figure out this technology. No, I was able to say and be honest. Okay, this is really frustrating me. I need help. Angels, what do I need to do? And then be grateful in that moment and every subsequent moment for this incredible help, the angelic support that is here with me so that I can get things done easily and in a timely manner. So, you don't want to be grateful for everything. You want to be grateful for that which sincerely feels good to your heart. And you also want to acknowledge what's wrong. You don't want to push it under the rug so it becomes a huge mountain. You want to acknowledge what's going on that is making you uncomfortable or unhappy or whatever emotion is coming up for you. And then, as quickly as you can, move your attention away from what is wrong. For me, it was what's not working. I had to shift over to, okay, I need help. What can I do to fix this? If I kept turning the computer off and on and fiddling around and changing the location of all of the plugs, I would never have been in a mindset of openness to help to receive the answer, which was so incredibly simple. So acknowledge what's wrong, get that out of the way, and then immediately turn to what you can be grateful for so that you open up and are now in a place where you can receive the answers. And the two helpers that we're going to talk about today are Archangel Shamuel and Archangel Uriel. These are powerful, beautiful angels that work together and separately to help your life be really magnificent. So we're going to start with Archangel Shamuel. Archangel Shamuel often comes in pink, and that you may see a pink light around him. His name means he who sees God, and he is called by those who have experienced him pure love in winged form. But I have to say, that's true of all of the angels. Yes, Archangel Shamuel is a beautiful, soft presence of love, but every angelic being is pure love. However, the way they come to you and the energetic frequency that they share with you will differ according to whom you're working with. So, Archangel Shamuel is going to encourage you to love yourself first. You cannot hear this enough. Until the first thing you think when you wake up in the morning is how much you love yourself, and the last thing you think before you go to sleep is how much you love yourself, you are not loving yourself enough. You can include in those statements, and I love my family, and I love my creator, and I love the angels, and I love my animals, and whomever else you want to include. But please include yourself. When you love you, when you can look into your heart and say, oh, I am so grateful to be me, then you know that you are at a place where miracles are going to flow freely and easily into your life. One of the things that is so important, and this is something Archangel Shamuel will help you with, is releasing judgmental attitudes to help you see your shortcomings as an opportunity to connect with your spirit rather than carrying them as a burden. And we are, I'm sure, all have had times in our lives, I know I certainly have, when I looked at everything I was and could only see the flaws and everything that was wrong. So if that's where you are right now, first of all, I'm going to ask you to stop. You are a magnificent being of love. You are beautiful and perfect just as you are. You may not yet be complete. That's what these life journeys are all about. These life journeys are moving you to a more godlike state, which is completion. But you are perfect for where you are. You came with everything that you need to be successful. And the only thing that is stopping you is you judging that you're not good enough. So if you're having that problem, I'm ask you to invite Archangel Shamuel into your heart and ask him to help you release that negative self-judgment. You are perfect, and it doesn't matter what mistakes you have made or what ways in which you believe that you have not lived a life that is exactly the way you wanted it to be. What matters is that you are loving you, because when you love yourself, you are able to love not only those around you, your family and perhaps coworkers and others that you hold dear and friends, but you are sending love out into the world. And there is a magnificent quote by Dr. Wayne Dyer that says, When you live from your heart, that high resonance, that high vibration of love, you not only bring into your life everything that is wanted, but you have the ability to affect 750,000 other people. That's how important it is for you to clear away the pain and begin loving yourself. So, Archangel Shamuel will help you develop compassion, improve your ability to communicate, balance your life, understand the value of helping others. But again, I'm going to stress that you don't help others before you help yourself. As empathic beings and people who love to help others, you may get caught up in, I'm only a good person when I am helping others. You're always a good person. It is lovely if you can help others without hurting yourself, but helping others is not a prerequisite of you being a magnificent and valuable person. So you want to call on Archangel Shamuel when you feel lost or overwhelmed, when you need to heal family dysfunction. And this can be everything from a little upset where you might have said some unkind things to a big family rift. The angels can and will help you do it all. Also, Archangel Shamuel can help you overcome grief. Archangel Shamuel is going to assist you with love, relationships, creativity, and spirituality. He will even help you find your soulmate and will help you improve all of your existing relationships. And if we're really honest with ourselves and we really look at our lives, we have to understand that absolutely everything is a relationship. Everything begins with your relationship to yourself and then flows outward from there. When you love you, everything becomes possible, everything becomes smoother, and your life just starts working better, feels better, has better results, and gets you feeling like there's a really good reason to get up every day. Archangel Samuel's gentle ministrations will help you open your heart and protect your personal world from negativity. It is so much easier to stay in a state of love, to feel good about life when your thoughts are uplifted and not overcome with negativity. So, not only will Archangel Shamuel help you, but he will help the world. So, whenever you call on him for yourself to help you lift your thoughts from negative to positive, you're also helping the world and the general world view to become more positive. He also will work together with the other seven power angels to help the world from being drowned in negativity. So we are not alone. We are not trying to change the world by ourselves. And when we focus on love, we truly are able to change the world in a positive way. Now, you always hear me talk about heart healing, and this is why. When your heart is cleared and healed of all of the pain and trauma, all those limiting beliefs that are telling you you're not good enough, or that negativity that just keeps you stuck in a pattern, it is so much easier to move forward, to feel good, and to have a positive impact on others. So do the work to clear and heal your heart. And as always, I'm going to invite you to join our spiritual community where we dive deep into the heart and really do the work to make sure that your life is fabulous. Now, the second angel today that you want to call on to help you feel good about you and get rid of those negative thoughts is Archangel Uriel. His color is midnight blue, and he has beautiful silver wings. And his name is Fire of God, or God is Light. Now, notice that all of the angel names lead back to God. This is because they are part of God. Again, another reason why we don't have to worry that calling on the angels is somehow going to be offensive to God. Archangel Uriel is also a love based energy, as really all of the angels are, but these two are specifically love based. He's going to remind you and help you to make your choices based on love. But again, you need to love yourself first. If you are not fully loving you, you might make a self-sacrificing choice that is not for your highest good. And even though we say to ourselves, well, I really want to do this thing for Mary, and I know that Mary needs it. If you are hurting yourself to help Mary, it is not for the highest good, and it will not support Mary in the way that you want to. There is no need to damage you in order to help another person. God is capable, more than capable, of helping you and everyone else that calls upon them. Archangel Shamuel will also help you deepen your insights into life so that you are seeing the bigger picture. One thing that happens so regularly when we are faced with challenges is our vision gets narrow. It's difficult to see how this is going to work out for the best when all we can see is what's wrong. So Archangel Shamuel will help you increase your vision. And he will also help you see the variety of futures that await you when you make a certain decision. Once you make a decision, you set off a series of events. Once you make another decision, you set off those series of events. Archangel Shamuel, I'm sorry, we're on Uriel. Archangel Uriel can help you see how two different decisions, what impact they may have on your life. What one is going to be best for your particular circumstances. And understand too, there's always more than one right answer. There is an answer that is going to be for your highest good. And then there are all sorts of other answers that may not be perfect, but they're going to get you further. So don't worry so much or get so caught up in the decisions that you're having to make. Call on the angels, get that broader view, and then make the decision that feels best to your heart. Archangel Uriel is also going to help you make a deep commitment to your divine calling. And so, what does this mean? Your purpose, your reason for being, why you chose to come here at this time. We all have a unique purpose, something that only we can fulfill properly. Each person has their own purpose, and Archangel Uriel will help you find that thing that you want to do, which is perfectly aligned with you, is for your highest good, and is therefore within divine will. If it's not for your highest good, you are out of alignment with the divine, and you are not supporting your highest growth. Archangel Uriel is going to help you with discernment. Obviously, as you see these future outcomes, you're going to be much more able to discern, hey, what's right for me, or who's right for me in this situation. It's like making an informed decision instead of crossing your fingers and saying, gosh, I hope this works out. When you see through an open heart, you invite divine grace. So, what is an open heart? An open heart is one that is no longer crowded by past trauma, ancestral karma, limiting beliefs, negative thinking, or fear. You've done the work to clear and heal your heart. You are able to catch yourself when you start running down that fear filled highway and say, okay, I don't need to do this. I have angelic help. Let me take a breath. Let me remember I can ask for and receive help. I have a clear heart that is going to be able to receive the answer and put it to use because I did the work to clear and heal away the pain and the trauma and all of that junk that was just taking up the room that I needed for my own clarity and vision. He will also help you with salvation. Now, I know that salvation is often thought of as a religious term, but let's just look at it as delivering you from harm, not helping you become good when because you are bad or the divine think of you as unworthy, but delivering you from harm. And let us remember that the word sin does not mean you are unworthy or unloved by God. It means that you made a mistake. When Jesus said to the people that he had healed, go and sin no more, he didn't say, figure out a way to become worthy. He was saying, please don't make this mistake because if you keep making this same mistake, you're going to be experiencing the same circumstances. So go and don't make this mistake. Now you know better. Now you can make a better choice. Archangel Uriel also helps you with transformation. And that is another word that we often associate with religion. And so let's look at it instead of a religious change. It is a thorough or dramatic change that helps your life go from what is unwanted or negative to what is wanted, what feels good, and what is positive. Moving away from the pain of the past into today with an open heart that has been cleared so that today feels great and the future looks bright. So, as we conclude here, we're going to learn that Uriel loves to teach us the difference between a limiting belief of the mind and the living expanse of the perspective of spirit. You're not going to be able to communicate effectively with the angels if you try to do it through your mind and you allow your heart to be filled with pain. The pain is going to cloud out everything that the angels are trying to share with you. You're going to miss the communication, the signs, and the different ways in which you are being helped. And you may feel like a failure. Instead of allowing yourself to fall into that limiting belief category, which is absolutely not true, you are and can never be a failure. I want you to clear and heal your heart. And from that place of openness, call on Archangel Uriel to show you the perspective of the Spirit through your heart and release those limitations. You are a magnificent being and you deserve wonderful things, but you must be open to receiving them. So now I want you to remind you to see the best and ask for confirmation. Don't try to function in a vacuum. Don't try to say, well, I'm just going to be really good at believing, and then never ask for confirmation. Boost yourself up. Allow it to be easy. Know that you are loved. and the angels are just excited to help you. So, before I leave you today, I want to share with you that I am holding an Angel Summit on April 11th. And you'll get the details of that by joining my mailing list. And there is a message to that in the chat. Please join my mailing list. I would be excited, so excited to share the angels with you in real depth on April 11th. You're going to learn who they are, not just one or two angels, but who they are, how you can call upon them, what they can and cannot do. And you will learn 3 different ways that you can communicate with them so that by the time the summit is complete, you will be able to begin communicating with the angels. And the more that you practice, the better you will get. So please understand that if you can't have incredible conversations with the angels the minute you learn this technique, again, you're not a failure. You're just learning. Were you great at your 2-wheel bicycle the minute you got your training wheels off? I wasn't. I fell and scraped my knees so many times. I thought I was so good at riding because I rode in the grass. First time I went over to the basketball court, I wiped out so badly that my knee wouldn't bend for a week. I wasn't a failure. I was just learning. It's the same way with the angels. Learn these techniques, come to the summit, get to know the angels, and then practice. It will get easier and easier and easier, and you're going to love being able to call on the angels for support. Thanks, everyone. I so appreciate your patience with me today as I had a little trouble getting going, but so glad you were here. It's Dr. Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and I'm sending you all my love.